everyone and welcome to my channel. So as you can probably tell by the title, I wanted to review the Black Opal True Color Pore Perfecting Liquid Foundation, and this is it right here. I've been seeing this go around on YouTube for a little while. I know people really love Black Opal foundation sticks to contour, and they also love this product. I had been trying to hunt it down for some time, but I wasn't able to get my hands on it in my area, so I finally was able to get it, and here I am bringing you this review. So let's go ahead and talk about the details of this foundation. So I was able to pick up this foundation at my local beauty supply store, and I believe I paid about $10 for it, which I think is not a bad price. It was on sale. So here's the packaging right here. It's very simple, just a sleek packaging. Has a top, and here you can see it has a pump, which I really appreciate. The box of the foundation is also pretty simple. It just says the color shade up here, and it says it's a pore perfecting foundation, and it's a light to medium coverage. So this item has 30 mils of product, which is pretty standard among all the foundations, whether you go high end or low end. And the color that I have is Truly Topaz, and just for color reference, I do wear MAC Studio Fix in NC45. As far as the claims that they make for this foundation, on the back here it does say helps minimize appearance of pores. It has a matte finish. It's a light to medium coverage. It's oil free, fragrance free, and paraben free. Now paraben free really stands out to me because I know a lot of people kind of try to stay away from parabens because apparently they're known to be cancer related, and it's also supposed to be oil free. Now foundations that make an oil free claim are always very interesting to me as well, because I am a combination oily girl. I usually get oily in the T-zone, so I'm always looking for something that's going to keep me matte in that area. So we're going to see how that works. I'll give you the tea at the end. Okay guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Now I really do love that this foundation comes with a pump, and I think I'm just gonna go ahead and pump one pump on the back of my hand. That's what one pump looks like, and you can see that it is running down my hand, so it's pretty liquidy, I guess you could say, because it's not staying in one section. Based on the color and just pumping it on my hand, it does look like it is going to be a very good shade match. I haven't tried it on my face yet. I did swatch it on my hand in the beauty supply store, but I'm not exactly sure if this is going to be a great match, so we're gonna find out together. Now when I do my foundations, I typically like to use a orange concealer because I do have acne scarring, and those tend to show through my foundation. However, for the video today, I think I'm going to test it out first and see how it covers at least like one of these darker marks, and if it doesn't, then I'll go back in and color conceal. But of course the first step is always putting on your primer, so I think I'm going to use my Revlon Photo Ready in the T-zone, and then I'll go in with my Makeup Forever in the creases. So we're now going to move on to the foundation, and I'm going to be using my Morphe M439. So there's how it's covering that one spot right there. And based off that, I think it does give a pretty good coverage. However, I still do want to cover correct. So I'm just going to go in with my orange concealer on those other darker marks that I haven't already applied foundation to. To blend out that orange concealer, I'm going to use my Morphe M173. It's just pretty much like a mini version of my M439. So cute, isn't it? But yeah, again, this is just a dense brush, and I'm just gonna blend out my color concealer with that. So now that we're all color concealed, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with the foundation. And I did apply it to the back of my hand earlier, and it is kind of drying up. So I'm gonna say that this foundation kind of dries quickly, so you probably don't want to you know, apply the foundation all over your face, but just kind of work in small sections. So I'm going to continue on with this side that I had originally started with. You guys think about the color match down below, of course, because I like to get other opinions, especially with all this lighting. Sometimes it can be very deceiving. The foundation does seem to be blending pretty well, and yes, I was right, it does dry very fast. So you really do want to work in small sections as you're putting it on your face, as opposed to dabbing it all over and then blending like as you go. So I do think that the brush does work pretty nicely as far as I can see right now. However, to mix things up a little bit, I'm gonna grab my damp beauty blender and I'm gonna use this to do the other side just to see how that will work, and then we'll see which side I like better. Okay, so I've got my whole face done, and I honestly have to say that I think I like the beauty blender side a little bit better. I don't know, let me know what you guys think, but I feel like the beauty blender just makes it look even more flawless. This definitely does have a nice coverage to it. It's not light. I would say it's more of like a medium finish, and you can build it up if you do have darker marks. However, if you do have really darker marks, I would suggest doing a color corrector first, because it didn't really completely cover all of the darker marks. So now that I got the full base down, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my full face, and then I will come back and show you how everything looks together. Hey guys, so I am back. Here's the finished result of the face. I did use my Jaclyn Hill palette today to complete the look, and I just did something really quick and simple on the eyes and the lips. Foundation to me looks pretty damn good, so I am gonna go ahead, do some errands, get my nails did. However, I do want to do at least one checkup to see how the foundation lasts throughout the day, how it works in my smile lines, because I do tend to have a lot of problems with smile lines. So I will go out and do all my errands, and I will see you guys soon. Hey guys, so I am back from running my errands, and at this point it is about 7:32 p.m. So I have been wearing this foundation for just over 5 hours. So yeah, let's talk about this foundation. I'm actually going to zoom in so you guys can get a good and clear picture of how everything looks. All right, so now that we're nice and zoomed in, you can see everything that's going on my face. I did not blot my face at all because, as I said, I wanted to see how the foundation was gonna hold up. I look pretty greasy, but it's mainly only in this T-zone area here, which is pretty normal for myself. I am a combo girl, so I only get oily in the T-zone, and the sides of my face pretty much stay dry. Like you can see, there's no oil there. We don't even need to count this section right here because I did highlight. In the areas where there is a lot of shine, I don't really feel like the product has like peeled away or is like completely gone. I do feel like just doing a touch up with some powder would suffice. And actually, being that I have reached my 5-hour mark wearing this foundation, I feel like it's not completely necessary for me to go all the way to 8 hours. However, I do want to show you guys how it's going to look on camera when I go in with a powder and just set it down. So I got my Studio Fix powder by MAC, and I'm just going to dab a little bit onto my brush, and I'm going to set only the areas that have the shine. So as you can see, the shine is pretty much going away. I did find that the foundation settled a little bit into my smile lines. I have had some foundations that have done better with the smile lines, but again, I think that's something that's more specific to my skin, as I do have that problem with many of my other foundations, so I can't say that it would settle the same on anyone else, but I thought that it was worth mentioning. So I've set the foundation all down again, and I think it looks pretty good. It pretty much looks like it's fresh and brand new again. As far as being a matte finish, I do think it was a matte finish. It's not like a flat matte. I think it's more of like a demi matte finish. I also claim that this foundation is a light to medium coverage. I do agree with that. Maybe not even so much the light, because I feel like I did get a really good coverage with it, even with having darker marks on my face. The color match was pretty great, and they do have a reasonable amount of color shades, so that was a plus for me, especially if you do have brown skin, darker skin, like whether you're Indian or African American, black, whatever you want to call it. I believe Black Opal is a brand that is recommended to people with some melanin. They do have yellow tone shades, which a lot of the time I personally struggle with that because I am more of a golden yellow undertone, and a lot of foundations tend to be really red, and most of us are not that red. It also has a pump, which for those of us who wear makeup, I think we can all appreciate you know, a cheaper foundation that actually does include a pump, because many of the drugstore foundations do not. You just end up wasting a lot of the product when you have to pour it out. So I do love that they included a pump. It is also very affordable. I do have a combination oily skin tone, and I felt that, you know, after maybe 3-4 hours, that's when it started to get really greasy, and I could have touched on my face. They also say that the foundation is fragrance free, which it does have a slight smell to it, but it doesn't smell too heavy. The one standout thing that I have to say about this foundation is that it does make a claim of being pore perfecting, and I do have to say that my pores do look a lot smaller. My pores within this area, like under my eye and beside my nose, are quite big, and I do notice that when I put this foundation on, it does look pretty flawless, and so I really do like that aspect of the foundation. So overall, I'm gonna say that I would recommend this foundation. I don't think it's like amazing, at least on my skin anyways. I have had foundations that did control my oils a lot better, but this is not completely bad. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this Black Opal True Color Pore Perfecting Foundation. That's always like a huge mouthful. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it. If you do have the foundation, let me know what your experience has been with this foundation, because I know this was like all the rave on the YouTube here. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it, and until my next video, we'll see you again. Bye.